And now this is how it was for that man. He was fortunate enough to make it here to America, where he was never able to capture his own dreams of his own youth. Instead, he made it the mission of his life to ensure that his children would have every opportunity he did not, that every door that was closed for him would be opened for them, that the day would never come for them that came for him, the day when he realized that his own dreams would not be possible. And so now life was about opening pathways for his children. This story I know well, and it verifies to me the greatness of our country, because tonight, with your vote, you have elected his son to the United States Senate.
Senator-elect Marco Rubio, after a resounding victory by 20 points plus in the current tabulations in the three-way race in Florida, adding to the Republican night, mostly evidenced in the House, but to some degree seen in the Senate. Now we've got a concession speech out of Delaware from Christine O'Donnell. Get your popcorn.
Come on up, everybody. You guys should be proud. I'm gonna wait for David. Get up here. There's a lot of people who worked very hard who should be up on this stage with me. June, Chuck? No? All right. Oh, I cannot thank you enough. We worked hard. We had an incredible victory. Be encouraged. We have won. The Delaware political system will never be the same. Well, you know what I mean by my joking big brother goes, "We won? Did we miss something?" You know what I meant. We were victorious because the Delaware political system will never be the same. That's a great thing. The Republican Party will never be the same. And that's a good thing. Our voices were heard, and we're not going to be quiet now. This is just the beginning. We've got a lot of work to do. I just got off the phone with my opponent, and I reminded him that he is now in a position to help the people of Delaware who are suffering. I reminded him of Victor Rodriguez and Donald and his family and the many small business owners who are very concerned about these tax hikes. And if he does raise them on the top 2%, they'll be forced to close their doors. I asked him to watch that 30-minute commercial that we did so that he can see what's going on in Delaware the way I have. And I asked him if he would talk to you and if he would take up my promise to, in this lame duck session, fight to stop the death tax from being reinstated this January 1st. So hopefully he will. And he's going to be up against his party leadership, but I asked him if he would sit down with some of the families who are very concerned about that and realize the difference he can make. So we can only hope and pray that he chooses to go against his party leadership and do what's right for the people of Delaware.
That's right.
But we're not going to stop fighting either. Because there's a lot of work to be done, a lot of work to be done. As I've said, this whole campaign is about putting the political process back into your hands, and that is where it is now. The leadership of our party is going to be drastically different this next year. The leadership in Delaware will be drastically different from now on. Our elected officials will be held accountable by their constituents. like it or not. So although the outcome isn't what we all worked so hard for, our voice was heard, will continue to be heard. So I hope and pray that you are as encouraged as I am. And we've got a lot of food, we've got the room all night, so God bless you. So let's party.
If you joined us during that and are not sure what you heard, that was what is going to pass for a concession speech from Christine O'Donnell, who was roundly defeated by someone who had been the Democratic underdog when the primary process started for the Republicans in Delaware, Chris Coons. As you see, 17%, 17 points is a lot of points, even in a state where 170,000 votes is going to get you elected senator. That's a big margin. And one could say that Ms. O'Donnell, in that set of demands that she just issued after not winning the race, doesn't know the meaning of defeat. And one could probably speculate that she doesn't know the meaning of several other words, but we'll let that pass.
She thinks she has incredible leverage over the new senator from the state of Delaware who just beat her by 17 points. But, you know, it is not only did she issue a set of demands, which is amazing, and not really concede, but she declared this is just the beginning. And I don't think she meant for her supporters to all go do something. I think she means for her to go do something. I think this is the start of Christine O'Donnell as political celebrity. I mean, this is a well-trod path.
This is not the first time she's run for Senate, though. She ran a couple of years ago. She's going to run, you know, again when it comes up, or she's going to move to another state, or back to Pennsylvania. I don't know.
She can just go straight to TV. I mean, she really is. I don't mean this sarcastically at all. She's an incredibly polished television personality. That was essentially her job as a national conservative activist for years before she became a professional candidate. And so, I mean, Sarah Palin, there was a lot of Sarah Palin, I'm quitting being governor so that I can go lead the country. Remember when she quit on July 4th last year? A lot of that in that speech. And I think that Christine O'Donnell probably does land at Fox News or some other place.
Speaking of Sarah Palin, the scorecard has some losses on it for her. Yet another one in Delaware.
1 and 3 to this point, I think, was the terms of the Senate. We haven't
She lost West Virginia.
She lost the House seat in Delaware, too.
West Virginia Senate.
I wouldn't take that lightly. I get a sense, whatever you think of Christine O'Donnell, that the Tea Party movement is a movement. And it has not crested yet, probably. It's going to be a part of our lives 2 years from now. Well, just as I said tonight, all the Republicans who voted for McCain voted Republican this time. That's their base. That's 47%. Then you add to this the way they've radicalized some of the people in the center. And she's a classic example of someone who's going to keep pounding at the door all through the next 2 years. I think the Republican Party has begun a campaign against Barack Obama that has only begun.
Isn't the whole energy of the Tea Party, though, against John Boehner and not against a Barack Obama? I mean, it's all the biggest cheers. The biggest cheers in her non-speech right now were about how not just Delaware politics are changing, but the Republican Party is changing. This is an insurgent movement against Republicans, and they've now got Speaker Boehner.
Which Tea Party? The part that Dick Armey would like to control? Or
beware.
The other.
Beware. It's not going to quit.
But the Tea Party tonight and Christine O'Donnell managed to snatch defeat from the jaws of victory in the Senate and in the House. So if that's the Tea Party, which of the Tea Parties Gene is talking about, the Democrats will fund them from the rest of the way on in. We'll see how that plays. Senator Claire McCaskill of Missouri joins us as we continue on midterm night 2010. Stand by.
The Place for Politics 2010, brought to you by the 100% electric, no-gas Nissan Leaf. Innovation for the planet, innovation for all.
Introducing the 100% electric Nissan Leaf. Innovation for the planet. Innovation for all.
Hey, babe. Oh, hi, honey. So I went to the doctor today, then picked up a few extra things for the baby.
Oh, boy.
I used our Slate card with Blueprint. We can design our own plan to avoid interest by paying off diapers and things each month. And for the bigger stuff, we can pay down our balance faster to save money on interest.
Bigger?
Bigger.
1, 2, 3.
Slate from Chase gives you extraordinary control over how you pay for life's surprises.
Triplets.
Slate customers pay down their balances twice as fast with Blueprint.
Legend has it that Aphrodite, Greek goddess of love and desire, introduced the pomegranate to the island of Cyprus, where it was declared an aphrodisiac. And only Pom Wonderful has the juice of 4 whole pomegranates and is backed by modern science. Powerful then, Pom Wonderful now.
Opportunity is a powerful force. Set it in motion, and it goes out into the world like fuel for the economy. One opportunity leading to another and another. We all have a hand in it, because opportunity can start anywhere and go everywhere. Let's keep it moving.
Imagine waking up with 20/20 vision. LASIK could make that happen. And right now at LASIK Plus, you could save $500 on the procedure. LASIK Plus could eliminate the hassle of annoying glasses and dried out contacts by treating your astigmatism, nearsightedness, or farsightedness. So get your treatment with the most recommended LASIK provider and save $500. Imagine your life in focus. LASIK Plus. Call, click, or come in now and save $500, but only till the end of the year. Offer not valid in California.
This is a public announcement. CNNMoney.com reports that in some areas of the country, buyers are scooping up homes for as little as $1,000. Foreclosures are at an all-time high. Government and private banks are liquidating these homes now. If you currently rent a house or apartment, you may call now and learn how to receive your free list of these homes. All others may call tomorrow. Every house must be sold. This is a public announcement.
Call 1-800-293-0367. That's 1-800-293-0367. Call now.
News is about stories. It's about finding all the disparate facts and then finding their coherence.
So what's the explanation for what happened?
At the end of the day, though, this is about what's true in the world.
Good evening. We begin tonight with the story that no one is talking about.
The NBC News Decision Desk can now give you a projection on the Senate race in Missouri, and you see it there. The Republican Roy Blunt is the predicted winner. And here are the actual totals to this point, with 14% of the vote in over Robin Carnahan of the famous Missouri political family of the same name. 60-34. Quite a thumping at this point, but again, 85% plus yet to be counted. So the Senate at this hour continues to be a change of 3 seats from Democrat to Republican, and the look at this point with the outstanding seats making up the difference here from the total of obviously 100, unless you just got in from social studies class, 45-39 at this point. 2 governors' races to report on. No surprises, I suppose, in either one of them. In New York, Andrew Cuomo, the Attorney General of the state, son of the former governor, in a projected victory mode at this point. Over his opponent, Mr. Happy. The Texas governor's race, Rick Perry, the incumbent there, who had some problems in some polling, but obviously not enough to make us hesitate in projecting him as the winner to retain his seat as in the State House in Austin. We spoke of the Missouri Senate seat. Let's now talk to the incumbent senator, the senior senator from Missouri, Claire McCaskill, who joins us now. Senator, thanks for your time tonight.
Thank you.
Let's look at the big picture first as opposed to the state. It's pretty clear now, NBC News already projected, and many of the other news organizations tonight have projected that the House is going to go to the Republicans. It's not a big surprise by any stretch of the imagination. The margins may be still up for debate, but it's going to happen. How do you visualize a Senate in the hands, presuming that it does stay in the hands of the Democrats, and a House in the hands of the Republicans? How on earth would they work together and accomplish anything in the next 2 years?
Well, I want to remain optimistic, but one thing is very clear. The Republican Party has put up a no moderates welcome sign, and that makes it hard because most compromises come from the moderates in both parties getting together and trying to figure out where we can shave it and find compromises to get to that common ground, especially on the hard stuff. So I don't know. I do know this, that I've listened to the Republicans during this cycle, and I've listened to them talking about a smaller government and cutting spending, but they have refused to talk about the programs they're going to cut. And now the rhetoric has to match the reality, and that's where it's hard. You can't do something about our debt and our deficit unless you look at